Hi, I'm Steve Moore of S'mores Models, and today I'm going to introduce you to this new kit, the Monterey Clipper. I'll show you what comes in the box and some of the more interesting features of the kit. It's a model of a little fishing boat in 1/87 scale, so it's perfect for an HO scale layout or diorama. The kit can be built as a waterline model, ideal for a water scene, or if you choose, the complete hull. For the complete hull version, the kit includes this dry dock type stand, so you could display it on your layout, perhaps as an old boat that's getting painted, or even a derelict sitting in somebody's old yard. So this is the kit. Yes, this is a cookie box or a cake box, and let's take a look at what's inside. Of course, on the front we have the illustration of the completed model. Just as one kind of idea how you might build it up. So I'm just gonna separate that. Pop the lid open. Okay, let's take a look at what's inside. So to start with, we have the instruction manual. It's about 6 pages, detailed parts list and completely illustrated instructions, a window template here, and color scheme. So there's that. Everything's kind of secured with bubble wrap. Okay, so we have a couple of bags of parts here, just mounted on cardboard with a little bit of double-sided tape. This looks like wasted space, but actually there's some clear plastic here for the windows, thread for the rigging, and styrene rods for the masts here. A couple of options for the exhaust pipe, and finally we have wrapped in bubble wrap the superstructure, and of course secured with some foam here. And this is the underside of the hull, the bottom of the hull. So that's the box. Okay, so this is all the major parts of the kit. I don't have the glass here for the windows, but this is everything else. Here we have the superstructure, and you'll see there's some little protrusions, little bumps from the support structure. There's a couple on the back of the hull here, but for the most part it's pretty clean. So you will need to kind of file some of these off, a little light sanding there, and similarly, so you can see similarly with the bottom of the hull, just some little bumps here and there. So we go to the trouble of removing the support structure, but you do need to do a little bit of cleanup. So this key here fits into the bottom of the hull, and then there you go. So if you do decide to do the full hull, then you'll probably want to invest a little bit of putty just to kind of fill that seam line there. The finer details here come on this little sprue here. We've got the prop, the propeller. These are the hinges here for the outrigger masts. These are spare tires, and might seem a bit odd, but it's a common practice to throw kind of a spare tire or something across the outside of the boat to protect it. When you're docked, you don't want the boat kind of hitting the jetty, so you put some tires over the side. There's the rudder on the
back end here. These little guys here are kind of not necessary for the kit. They're intended to be little spotlights, but to be honest, I think they're a bit oversized. I left them in there just in case somebody wanted to use them. They're oversized because I was afraid if I scaled them down anymore, they were going to be too fragile. So that's the logic there. The gritties here, the gritties are very fragile and delicate, so I recommend just handling them from the base there. But you can see they're very, very detailed. Get that into focus. A lot of details in there. Cross tree that goes across the top of the mast. There's a couple of exhaust pipes that look kind of the same from profile, but actually top down you can see that one's a bit narrower. So those are options there. The fatter, chunkier, or the more narrow exhaust. And finally, we have this is the display stand, which is basically intended to look like a dry dock, right? So it is. Well, it's not. It's meant to be a dry dock. It is modeled on a prototype. So the idea is you could display your model on this. This could work in a diorama setting. You know, if you wanted to have the complete whole in your layout or your diorama, you could do that, or even just sitting on your shelf. That's the display option. This doesn't need much explanation. A little bit of thread for your rigging, and finally we've got some styrene rods. This would be the center mast, and this just will need a little bit of sanding on the top and bottom, you know, so that it will fit into, the idea is it fits into the well, this is the cabin roof here. There's a little hole in the top. It's going to fit in there with a bit of sanding. And I recommend if you are sanding this, you want to you don't want to go back and forth. You just want to go in one direction, slow and steady, and just, you know, taper the end down a little bit until the cross tree here has a, you know, little hole in there, and that will fit. And Bob's your uncle. So for the windows, the kit includes a little bit of clear plastic like this, and the instructions, there's a template in the instructions that you can literally trace. You can tape the plastic to the template, cut out the windows to shape. So there you go. There's the major parts of the kit. Let's take a closer look at the instructions. They are fully illustrated. The 3D model used to create the kit was also used to illustrate the instruction manual. There is a template to use as a guide for cutting the windows. Lots of detailed callouts, color schemes, and rigging guides. I included 2 potential color schemes, but really you could get creative. It's a boat. There's many color schemes. So feel free to use your imagination there. Lastly, we have the parts list, which includes a contact email. If you lose or break a part, just email us with the part number and we'll send you a replacement. All we ask is that you cover the cost of shipping and the replacement part. A lot of thought and love went into the creation of this kit. It can work as a standalone model on your shelf, or maybe you want to add a maritime flavor to your HO train layout. There are many ways you could build it. A brand new boat ready to tackle the sea, or maybe a derelict that's rotting away in some old yard. If you're interested in having a go at building her, just click the link in the description below, and happy modeling.